Disclaimer.
The thoughts and opinions expressed by our guests are not necessarily the views of Tash, Becky, or Be Your Best You podcast.
Hey there, lovely people. Welcome to Be Your Best You with Tash and Becky, your go-to hangout for all things spiritual, subconscious, and downright magical. We're here to sprinkle a little mystical wisdom into your everyday life and help you level up your reality.
Picture this as your cosmic coffee date, where we chat about the unseen world, blend in some psychology vibes, and stir up the subconscious magic. Get ready to be the queen of your own reality, live a life that lights you up, and have a blast doing it.
So grab your latte or your tea and let's dive into another episode of Be Your Best You, where the mystical meets the mundane and your best life awaits.
Cheers to creating magic together.
Let's do this.
Hi, welcome back to another episode of Be Your Best You with Tash.
I'm Becky, the guest edition. Today we're talking to Nicola Dickinson.
And Nicola owns the forest bathing company. She does forest bathing here in our local area. And we talk in this episode all about the benefits of forest bathing, what forest bathing actually is, because a lot of people don't know actually what's involved. And then we have a really magical conversation where we dig in a little bit more to plants and trees and connections with us and what nature has to offer us as well, the wisdom in nature. It was a magical conversation, and the whole time we felt like we were immersed in the woods, and the whole episode was just like a deep breath in and a lovely exhale out. So we hope that you feel that as well. Enjoy, guys.
Enjoy.
Hey guys, can we ask you a favour?
Can we ask, if you haven't already, please make sure that you're following us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts so you can get updated with all the latest episodes every week when they come out. You never know, it might just be the thing that you need to hear at that time. Also, don't forget you can watch us on YouTube, so make sure you head over there and subscribe to us there.
And share with all your friends.
Thanks, guys. And today we have on the show Nicola. Nicola, welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Oh, we're so excited to talk to you, Nicola.
Yeah.
So before we dig into everything forest bathing, could you please tell everyone what it is that you're doing in the world? Obviously, we know it's forest bathing, but could you just tell us a little bit more about that, please?
So, first of all, I like to dispel what some people think forest bathing is that have never heard of those words before. It's nothing to do with cold water swimming in the woods. A lot of people think because it's got the word bathing in there, there's going to be water involved in some way, shape or form. And there isn't unless it's raining. So forest bathing is immersing yourself under the canopy of the trees. That's where the bathing, you're immersing underneath the canopy of the trees. It's a very mindfulness experience. It's a very slow, gentle experience that helps you to de-stress, calm your nervous system, and connect with all your senses slowly and gently, one at a time. And that helps you to become a lot more aware and switch off from all the crazy stuff that's going out in the world and in your daily lives, really.
That sounds beautiful, doesn't
Does,
it?
doesn't it? I feel like you took a nice deep
I did.
exhale when you said that.
I
So, before we get into kind of like the benefits and how it's done, how you do it, all of the things about forest bathing, because and also I'd be really curious to kind of go a little bit deeper as well and ask you your kind of thoughts on trees and nature and consciousness and stuff like that when we get to it. But before we do that, would you be happy to kind of share how you got to doing what you're doing? I mean, I'm assuming you didn't do forest bathing. You haven't been doing forest bathing your whole life. So how did you get to doing this now?
So I trained as a beauty therapist part-time when my boys were younger. And then, so that's the way I went. I was employed in some salons and then realised that I didn't really like working in other people's salons because not really a salesperson. And
No.
you're working in salons, you need to sell the products. So I went out on my own, and then if you talk to business people, they say, "Oh, what's your unique selling point? What makes you different?" And I was like, "Oh my God, I don't know," and I couldn't afford the big names like Clarins and all those type of. I couldn't afford to buy their products in. But in 2006 was when the word organic became very fashionable and very popular without people really knowing what it really truly meant. So I started to buy in all the lotions and potions that you need to run a beauty salon, and that started to go very well. But then in about 2009, 2010, I think it was, I realised that I didn't have a more natural nail polish remover, and I'm sure if anybody that uses nail polish remover knows how stinky and pongy it could be. So there was a government help initiative all those years ago called Business Link, and they would give you lots of free help and advice. So I approached them and said, I would like to have a completely natural nail polish remover. How do I do that? So they put me in touch with some cosmetic formulators. I chose one down in Portsmouth Way, and they came up with, if I told I'd like it to smell like this and I'd like it to look like this, and they come up with the formula within about 2 months. And then I bought the formula away from them and the intellectual property. And I did my first trade show in XL in London, and it just went from there, really. I started selling wholesale to other companies outside the UK. It just happened, excuse the pun, organically. So that started to take off really well. And because that started to take off, I stopped doing the beauty treatments. But then we had Brexit. And at the beginning, no shipping company really knew what was going on. And the prices just went extortionate to ship outside the UK. And all the paperwork that you had to fill out just went crazy. Eventually got over that. It cost me a lot more money, but I've eventually got over it. That all settled down. And then we got hit by COVID, which actually was okay because so many people, unfortunately, got made redundant or had to leave their jobs for whatever reason. And then those people started to realise, actually, I'm now going to do what I've always wanted to do. And it might have been open up my own little store, open up a refillable store, a plastic-free store, my own little website. So I started to get a lot more UK people, which was great. It was lovely. But then after that come the cost of living crisis. And I was getting not just my stockers, but I was seeing on Instagram at least 2 of these type of companies shutting down a month.
Wow, gosh.
And then it was like, I'm still doing this and I really don't enjoy it anymore. I don't want to do it anymore, and I have no idea what I'm going to do. So I think I just carried on doing it for quite a long, 5, maybe more years, a lot longer than what I should have done. And then I just kept seeing the words forest bathing pop up. Whether it was I like watching gardening programs, so whether it was on Gardener's World or in magazines, on the radio, on TV programs, that's it. I went on a session and thought, yep, that's it. And then I sat down and thought, is this what I really want to do? And yes, it ticked all my boxes of I can work basically when I want to work. If I'm going on holiday, that's it. There's no sessions. I don't have to, oh, lovely, beautiful sun, can you send some orders out for me while I'm on holiday? I'm a people person, so it got me outside rather than just working in a home office all by myself. It got me back outside meeting people. out back in nature and in the fresh air, because I wasn't doing anything. And if I did go outside, it was just to post some orders or stuck in a sweaty gym with no natural daylight or anything. So it ticked all my boxes, and I was like, that's it. So I went and found a company, trained for a year, and then
Wow, long
here I am.
training. Mm.
Here I am 2 years in, and it's the best thing I ever did.
Oh, that's
I
amazing,
love
isn't it?
that. Sorry, go on. No, you go.
No, I was just thinking that's a long time to have to train, isn't it,
Mm.
in forest bathing? So there's obviously it must be a lot to it, that you have to, the knowledge that you have to.
Yeah, I searched around for who I was going to train with, and at the time there wasn't that many, and some of them that I really liked the look of were outside the UK. I'm like, well, I can't afford to do that. The company that I trained with, the reason I went with them is because they have connections with the people in Japan who did all the scientific research and set forest bathing up.
Yeah.
They had government backing. They did big research programs with the NHS. So I went and trained with them. The first 6 months of the training is actually learning all about mindfulness and meditation and teaching people how to meditate and be more mindful.
Wow.
So I had to get volunteers and run sessions with them and write really lengthy feedback to my tutor. And then the second 6 months were outside. So I had to go to Wales for 4 days. I was in Wales and learned all the outside stuff. And then the rest of the time it was gathering people together, running sessions. And again, I think the assessment form that I had to send to my tutor was about 15 pages long. So I had to do that every time, send it back. She'd send it back, and it's just ongoing and ongoing. And then have a final assessment actually mine was by the owner of the company. And I was like, my God, why did I have to get him? But it was fine. So yeah, it's very in-depth training, and there's more people that are doing the training now, and I'm sure they probably do it completely different to how I was trained. But I will advocate it is something that you cannot learn online. It's nature. You need to be outside. You just can't do not to do some of the theory side of it, but you just can't. It's not a course that you can learn online.
No, absolutely. That makes total sense.
Mm.
So, I'm really curious then, what does a session of forest bathing involve? What do you do with people? What do people do
So
practically?
the sessions are groups of definitely no more than 12. 10 is ideal. I don't do sessions with children, and you're not allowed to bring your dogs for I can take my dog for a walk at the same time. No, you can't.
No.
Sessions generally run for 3 hours, no matter what the weather, unless it's really horrible thunderstorms and that for health and safety. And when we first get to the woodlands where we are, then I ask people to turn their phone off. That sends some people in a bit of a spiral. And even try not to have it in your pocket, because for instance, if you're a mum with kids at school and you feel that phone beeping in your pocket, you are, who is that? Is it the school calling me? Is it important? And you've come out of that mindful session. We walk very, very slowly, and we'll come to, I've specific routes that I use. We'll walk very slowly, and then we'll stop. And for example, we'll concentrate on your sense of hearing. We work through all your senses one at a time. So we'll concentrate on, now we're going to use your sense of hearing. And you allow my voice to guide you as to different ways of how you can hear nature. I'm not asking you to just stand there and listen to the birds above you. We really explore the different ways you can hear. And sometimes it's by closing your eyes. You can hear more or different things to when your eyes are open.
Yeah.
It's a very slow process. And then we'll go for another gentle walk and we'll do a similar thing, but with your sense of sight. And all the time we're doing this, we're doing very slow breathing techniques. And the further and longer we get into the session, the more you become relaxed and calm. Because at the beginning, if there's people in the group that you don't know, you might feel a bit self-conscious of standing there doing deep breathing in the middle of the woods. And most of the locations, you can't 100% get away from members of the public.
No.
There may always be dog walkers walking past. And they tend to ignore you, actually, because when they see people standing there being quiet, they have a little look and then they move on. But if that happens right at the beginning of the session, you're like, oh my God, are they standing there looking at me thinking, what is that? They're a bit weird. What are they doing? But the further we get into the session, you don't really even notice that anymore. And I say to people in the group, because I do these for corporate alternative wellbeing days. And although it's a group session, it's actually a private individual session for you, because I allow people to walk away from the group. And Tash, what you see, what you're looking at and has drawn your attention may be something completely different to what Becky likes looking at.
Yeah.
So although you're in a group, it's your own private individual session, and you can take that as far or as deep as you want to go. And then at the end, we have a lay down, sit down, tree relaxation session, which is a guided full body meditation where I guide you as you're laying, and then we're laying under the canopies of the trees. So that's roughly what a forest bathing session involves.
Oh, magical.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
I love that. I feel relaxed listening to
Listening
you,
to it.
but I kind of feel like I'm there and I'm doing it, and I just I absolutely see the benefits of that. Like let's put nature aside for a second, which obviously I know that has its own benefits, and we'll talk about that in a sec. But just a very like the practice of, like you said, everything's just slowing down. There's no external kind of stuff getting at us like there always is, and just really focusing on each sense and your like just one sense. It's so grounding, isn't it? It's like getting you into the present now moment, which we just don't do as much as we kind of all want to, and we have that kind of desire. We just don't do it, do we? And it's almost like you take people and you're like, right, I've got you here now. You've chosen to be here. Now you're going to do it. Sometimes we need a little bit of help to slow down, don't we? And I think for me, I would 100% be more up for doing that than going sitting down in my bedroom and doing a meditation for, half an hour, 100%. And that's not even to then like throw in the benefits of just being in nature and having all of nature around you, which I just love anyway. But yeah, that's powerful.
I do have people say to me, well, I go for a walk in the woods every day with my dog, or me and my friends walk regularly in the woods. That's great because you are out in nature and you're getting the fresh air. But let's picture this. You are in the woodlands and you're walking your dog. Whether it's on the lead or off the lead, that dog is going here, there and everywhere because it wants to sniff and smell everything. You are always got to keep your eye on where that dog is. One, you don't want to lose it. Two, you've got to see where it's done its mess and pick that up. So you're not completely calming your inner self down. You're walking in the woods with your friends, you've got a cup of coffee and you're walking along. I can guarantee you it's not going to be in silence, 100% guarantee you that you're not going to be talking. And I can also guarantee that you are going to be offloading something in your life. Whether it was you stuck in a traffic jam to get there, the queue at the coffee shop was ages, your boss is driving you mad, your workloads are driving you mad, the kids are driving, whatever, you are going to be offloading about something again, which is great because you're releasing that angst within your body. But at the same time, because you're like, you're also, your cortisol levels are still up here. You're still stressed without realizing that you're causing your body some stress. So that's why we have to take away the phones and somebody to guide you. Because, and also, even if you go without your phone or you turn your phone off and you've not got your headphones in, and if I was to say to you, right, go into the woodlands, turn your phone off, no headphones, and just stand there for 10 minutes and do an exercise on just look around you. You could probably do that, but you're still in your thought process of, I must leave by so-and-so time because my parking's going to run out. I've got to remember to go to the supermarket on the way home. What's the time? Oh, you've still got that going on. But when we're doing the forest bathing session and it's guided, you've got my voice inside your thoughts, as it were, because I'm inviting you to do stuff. So you're concentrating on my voice rather than the voice in your head, the general chit chat, which a lot of the time we just start having a conversation with.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's not easy to do by yourself. And I don't like to use the word meditation because that puts a lot of people off. I've tried meditation. I can't do it. I don't like doing it. I can't sit down for that long enough. So I don't really like to input that word into it. So it completely takes that barrier away.
Yeah. It's just like pure presence, isn't it?
It is. It is. And I say to people, even if you've stopped the thoughts of your hectic day for 30 seconds, that means that you've been mindful for just that 30 seconds. And it's like anything else, it's practice. The more you do it, the easier it becomes. And one tip, people say, no. I'm like, okay, the next time you're stuck in traffic or at traffic lights and you're in a rush, you're getting a little bit hyped up for whatever reason, even if the radio's on in your car, hum to yourself. Doesn't matter what it is. You cannot have thoughts going in your head when you're humming.
No.
Yeah.
I hum a lot.
Me too. Deliberately because of that reason. I know that, and I do that. If my mind's going crazy,
I
and
regulate by humming.
Yeah. Me too. It's so powerful, isn't it?
Yeah. Do you find, Nicola, then, because you're obviously immersed in it, aren't you? You're doing this such a lot. Have you noticed anything, like with your intuition? Has that become a lot stronger since you've been involved in the forest bathing, or other like little gifts that might have been switched on through doing
You
this?
read my mind. I was going to ask that.
Did you?
So there's lots of benefits to forest bathing. The main one that I think people comment on the most after they've been on the session is how it's improved their sleep. Now, we all know that everybody's different. So everybody will take benefits in different ways. But with the sleep, it's either I slept a lot better because I was out in the fresh air, or I got to sleep quicker. I still woke up in the middle of the night, but I got to sleep quicker. I slept for longer than what I normally did. I know that I had a deeper sleep. Even though I might have still struggled to get to sleep, and I still woke up in the middle of the night, but I know I know I had a deeper sleep. So that's one of the main ones that people notice. And I've noticed it a bit with myself, but I mean, I love my sleep. I don't. I mean, no problem going to sleep. What I noticed is my focus when I'm working. So it's very. There's lots of scientific proof to show that it improves focus and working memory.
Right.
So being a woman that's gone through menopause, that is a godsend.
Yeah.
I don't get as much brain fog.
Oh, I love that.
Yes.
I don't get as much brain fog. So that's like gold dust to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
My heart, I take medication for high blood pressure, and I know some days I can feel that it's fluctuating because I can tell that it's really gone down. So that's another main one as well. There's lots of other benefits, like so when you're in an ancient woodland, which is classed as, it has to be like 400 years old or more, which
Right.
is 100-acre woods at Wickham, over Wickham Way,
Yeah.
and Holly Hill, Salisbury Green. There's parts of
Hill.
that is over 400 years old. If we think of aromatherapy, we all know that lavender calms us down and chamomile tea helps us relax, and all these other wonderful things that aromatherapy can do for us health-wise. Trees are similar to that. They have their own natural organic compounds. So they're releasing their essential oils, basically. You might not be able to smell them, but they're there.
Yeah.
And when we do our deep breathing, we're taking in those compounds. And if it's been really dry, and then you go for a walk in the woods when it's been really dry, and then all of a sudden it rains and you get that smell coming up from the earth.
Yeah.
Breathing in all of that actually helps with our immune system. With white blood cells called natural killer cells, and they actually boost your immune system. And there was research done that they had groups of people that had gallbladder removal. They put one group in the hospital that just had 4 walls, no windows. The other group was in a room that had windows that were able to be opened and had a view, some form of nature, even if it was just trees around in the car park. The ones that had no windows or anything, they recovered all absolutely fine. The ones that had the windows and the view of nature recovered quicker and recovered better.
Wow.
So it's all those things. It just adds on and adds on and adds on. And they're researching it. They're just researching it all the time, and they're finding more and more and more.
Yeah.
The touch of natural wood that's been dried naturally, not wood that's been kiln dried, wood that's been left to dry naturally. Touching that does actually relax us. Nature has a thing called patterns called fractals. There's a repeating pattern, a bit like your mandalas. If you look closely at a mandala, it's just the same pattern that goes round and round, and then another pattern. So if you think of a tree, you have a tree trunk, and then the branch goes off, and then the smaller branches go off, and it goes off like twigs. So in essence, that's a repeating pattern, because it goes up and it branches out, and it goes up and it branches out. They're called fractals, and they actually relax our eyes. That then makes us relax and soften the muscles around our eyes. That can release tension. Headaches may subside a bit quicker. She's clever, that mother. She's very, very clever.
I think that just covers everything, doesn't it? Just from the tree.
Because the fractal patterns are in nature everywhere, aren't they? Like on a snail shell, on leaves. Like it's sacred geometry almost, isn't it? Like I think, and I just don't think we understand really. If we fully, well, most of us don't fully understand how we respond to that on a subconscious level, don't we? These fractals these fractal
Mm.
patterns. Yeah,
Yeah.
I find that fascinating.
And people, I get objections of, well, I can't get to the woodlands. I don't have a car to get there, or I don't have the finances to get a train or a bus there. So when you go forest bathing in woodlands for a decent amount of time, 3 hours more if you can, all those benefits that we've spoke about, the ones that your body has taken on board and received, they can potentially stay within your system for up to a month.
Wow.
If you go for a walk in your local park, where there are still some trees and some plants, maybe flowers in the spring and summer, and you take your time and it's like touching things and really noticing, and you're going to get the benefits from there for about a week. And if you have your own garden, the same, a week, couple of days, but then you can still get some benefits even if you've got a window box or a house plant, because there are specific house plants that are there. We know there's house plants that can purify the air, but there's different house plants that can do different things for you. And if you are a green-fingered person, and I'm not, and you tend to your house plants, like really tend to them, and you wipe the dust off the leaves, and just that is a mindfulness process,
Yeah.
because you're not chatting. Well, we might be talking, but you're not engrossed in a stressful conversation. Why? Because you have to be gentle with that house plant. So even that is almost like an indoor aspect of one part of doing your forest bathing, because you're slowing down, you're noticing, you're looking.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a tiny little aspect of how you can do a bit of like forest stuff in your home, really.
Do you think then, this makes my mind go, like I go all over the show, but do you think as well, obviously there's that mindful aspect as well, but do you think there's like that connecting aspect with the plant as well, like sending it, because if you're doing that, you're caring for the plant, right, aren't you? And you want to keep it alive, you want it to thrive. And I feel like there's something about that connection as well, like appreciating that as another kind of entity, being, consciousness, whatever.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, some people think, oh gosh, it's just a bit crazy. Trees are all connected to each other under the ground, the mycelium, the mushroom roots, and everything like that. So trees do actually, in their own way, talk to each other.
Yeah.
You've got a tree over here that is being attacked by whatever bug or disease. That will send signals under the ground, which I was taught is called the wood wide web.
Oh,
They
I love
send
that.
I love
They
that.
send signals under the ground to surrounding trees. Now, I don't know how long this takes. It doesn't happen in minutes. It may take weeks or months. Warning those trees that there is something coming to attack. Now, that tree can receive that message and changed its composition of maybe what smells it's letting off, what taste it can sort of give off, so it doesn't get attacked.
Wow.
Again, if one tree's being severely dehydrated, other trees will send it water and sugars and nutrients to help it survive. Even if that tree has been cut down to a small stump, but its roots are still there, they can keep it still going. So yes, there is that connection, as you say, with the plants. You hear gardeners and people say all the time, like, talk to your plants. And there's been research shown that there's 2 plants on the windowsill. One's going to be talked to negatively, and the other one's going to be given all the loving attention as if it's your best child. And you see the difference.
Yeah.
Trees sleep. Some trees sleep.
Oh.
I've seen research, I think it was done in Norway, on fir trees. When the sun goes down, it was all done on a high-speed camera because you wouldn't physically be able to see it with the naked eye. But they lower their branches ever so slightly. And when they lower their branches, they're not using the energy to keep them up.
Yeah.
So when they're down, they've got more energy that then can pump the nutrients up to the top of the tree to help it grow more. And then when the
Yeah.
sun starts to come up, then the branches start to come up. This was taking so they can gain more sunlight.
Yeah. I love that.
So
And
clever.
don't you think we can learn? I often like to kind of look at nature and use it as a teacher, because I just think we can learn so much from nature and from trees, just down like it always makes me think in winter. Like, I was walking through Holly Hill actually the other day, and I was actually on my own. Usually I'm with this one, but I was actually on my own. So
Dare you.
I was having some mindfulness. And I was just looking and I was talking to the trees in my head. Well, maybe I was out loud actually, and I was just saying, look, you're not scared to lose your leaves. You don't worry that your leaves are kind of effectively dying and you're going to be bare, and you're losing this part of yourself. You don't worry, oh, are they going to come back? Like, are they like, oh, am I going to be bold forever? Like, no, you trust. You just, like, you're in the process, you let it go, and in spring, like new leaves, you're going to have a new set of leaves, a new you. And I'm just like, I'm always looking and thinking, yeah, like, you need to be more like a tree. Like,
Yeah.
let these things drop away, let them die away, and trust that something new is going to come back in its place. There's just so many, like, comparisons you can make to nature,
Yeah.
like you said with the trees, and how they help one another. Even if a tree stump is a tree stump, it's all about community and collaboration. It's not about, oh, I'm just looking out for me. It's about the group and community, and I just think we need to learn from
And
them.
this is how we must have learned, isn't it? Way back when, caveman times, nature must have taught us.
Yeah, because we see the different variations of the colour green more than any other colour,
Right.
Wow, yeah.
because that's how it would have been caveman times. We
Yeah.
wouldn't have had all the roses and all these wonderful
No.
plants that we've got now. And we can adapt more to nature when we go back out in nature, sometimes easier than if we move into a big new city area, because we just recognize nature more as a safe space because of the fractal patterns, because of the color greens, just where we're placing our feet on the
Yeah.
ground, and we can see the sunlight more. So yeah. And there are some about now, and I wish I could afford to get one, but there are these where you can put clips on plants and then you can actually hear them.
Yes, because the mushrooms make
mushrooms.
music, don't
Yes.
they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Oh.
yeah. So there is that as well. But when I take people forest bathing, when you were saying about, oh, I could resonate with a tree, sometimes I say to people, look there, see what grabs your attention, and then depending on how the group are, what dynamics the group's in, is I can then go a bit further and say, what made that? Why did you want to go and explore that? And it can be sometimes, or that tree is quite weak. You could see it bending. I was like, yeah, I feel like I'm like that. Or it's got strength.
Yeah.
And yesterday, actually, I did a post with a the shell of a conker. It's all green and prickly. And some days it's like, yeah, I'm a bit prickly today. And sometimes you don't know why. It's like, oh, I got out of the bed the wrong side. And you start to analyse it. Well, why am I in this mood? But yeah, I'm just a bit prickly today. Or I want to be on my own. Or yeah, I'm upbeat. Or you can always connect it somehow with what you can see in nature. And I say to people, if you go into the woodlands and you ask a question, whether you've got your hands on a tree or not, but if you ask a question, you'll get an answer.
Yeah. I totally
We
agree.
all know the answers to our own questions. It's whether we're brave enough to listen
Mm.
and
Yes.
act
Yeah.
on that, because we've got
Mm.
our gut instinct.
Mm.
And the more you slow down, the more you're able to listen.
Yeah.
Mm.
Nature will always give you an answer,
Mm.
the right answer. Might not like it, but
Yeah.
you might not
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah.
But
That's true.
yeah,
And I'm glad you said that, because it's kind of led me on to something that I wanted to like ask you as well. Again, like just in your opinion. So I'm looking at it right now. We're sat underneath what we've been told is the oldest oak tree in, at least in Warsash in our area, but they've said, the tree expert, can't remember what they're called, arbor something, they've said more likely in the whole of the south, because this oak tree is like over 500 years old, and when Henry VIII was chopping down all the trees in the south, obviously to make his navy in Portsmouth, which is very near here, that oak tree was a sapling and it wasn't big enough to be chopped down.
Yep.
He got all of the rest of them gone, and so this one survived, and I just feel like it's full of so much wisdom. It's seen so much. I said when I moved into this house, something needs to go under that oak tree. I didn't know what it was going to be, but I said something needs to be under this oak tree. I need to be under this oak tree, and it just so happens I do the work that I do now from here. But I feel like it was like here for a reason, and I've been placed with that tree for a reason. I feel such a connection with that tree, and honestly, like, it's got such a lovely big trunk. You can't possibly put your arms around it. But sometimes when I'm feeling overwhelmed or any kind of like difficult emotion, I will just go and hug that tree. And it does, I don't know. And people might think I'm crazy, but when I hug that tree, I can cry. I can let the emotion out. It feels like it's giving me a hug back. It just that's why I said it. It just feels like it's listening and then saying, now, come on, like, what is this telling you? It's just like a open hug, like letting you talk. It's just amazing.
yeah. You saying that about that tree being where you are. When I was training, we would all have to take it in turns to run a forest bathing session, and then we'd get the feedback and everything. And one lady was leading the group, and it's like, okay, go to something that's drawing your attention. Well, we was all into forest bathing, so we all went straight to a tree. And then, so I went and stood by this tree. I've got my hands on this tree. I'm bawling my eyes out. I can't even remember why. And then we went to have some lunch, came back, somebody else's turn to run the session. There was several different places within these valleys of Wales where we could use it on this private land. This second lady decided to use the same bit of woodland. And again, we got to that part of going, whatever's drawing your attention. I was like, where's my tree? I could not see where that tree was. I was standing in the exact same place. And I was like, I know it's over to my right. And it was only about 4 trees long. And I just did not recognize that tree. I couldn't see it. And I was saying to people, I can't find my tree. I can't find my tree. And then it was like the penny dropped. That tree's not mine. I don't own that tree. It doesn't belong to me. It served its purpose in that moment. I got what I needed from it. And now it's for somebody else. That really almost, that was, I was like, wow. That was
I totally get that, because I look at the tree and I always say thank you for adopting me, like thank you for letting me
always
be
have to say
with
thank
you.
you and be grateful.
Yeah, I'm so grateful for the tree, and I'm so glad I get to spend a moment of time with you here, because I know that we'll move on. Like whatever happens, if I move or if I stay here until I die, he's going to be here long after I am here. And I'm just like, oh, I'm so grateful that I get to just be with you. And also I feel like he's a protector as well. He goes right over our house, at nighttime when I'm putting all the protection up around my house. Like I put him in my bubble of protection, but I also see him as kind of like protecting us as well.
Yeah.
And I just feel really honored that I get to be in the same space as it. And I'm always like, you're not my tree. Like, it's just so funny that you say that, because it's exactly the kind of thought that I have. And it's all these thoughts that you have, you don't necessarily speak them out loud, but it's just really interesting when you hear somebody else say it, you're like, oh, okay.
It's interesting that you've
called him a him.
Yeah.
I feel like he's masculine.
That's good, because as I say, everybody's different. But we was talking about that once, and it was like, well, if there's a car or a ship or an airplane or something that carries people, is always referred to as a she, because we as women carry people within inside us when we're pregnant. So things like are always classed as a she.
Mm.
And it was like, well, why is a tree? What would you give it, a he or a she? Just don't. But then to say, you've just said everybody's different, because a tree is giving life. It's giving its acorns. It's giving its fruit. So it is carrying and bearing fruit, like you're bearing a child. But then some people like you may think, well, actually, this tree is a he because it's so strong. It's been supportive, and that is more connected to the male person in the family or the establishment, because they're the protector. So I find it interesting whether call it a he or a she. There's no right and wrong, because I say everybody's.
Well, and someone else might get a very feminine energy from that tree. It's like you said, exactly
It
right.
depends what you need from it, and what you're asking it for, and how you talk to it, as whether what title you're going to give that.
And that's just a human thing as well, isn't it? Because the tree isn't masculine or feminine, or maybe it is. I don't know. In its energy, I don't know. But so, but it's like we want to give things like a he or a she, don't we? And it helps us. But again, I'm okay with that, because it's just a way that I understand that I can have a deeper connection with things. And that's the point, I think, isn't it? Like, as long as you've got the connection, however it comes across, it's fine. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Oh, I love this conversation.
Wow.
So, like, before we wrap it up, is there anything, Nicola, that you would like people to know about forest bathing? Is there anything you want them to know, think they should know, or any messages you kind of want to leave our audience with?
It's not, forest bathing is not barefoot walking in the woodlands, tree hugging. It is not strange or hippie woo-woo stuff. I mean, somebody messaged me today and said there's an article in Tesco's free magazine today about forest bathing. And if it's good enough for the tennis player Djokovic, when he goes to Australia and plays his big tennis tournament, he has a specific tree where he goes and sits under bare feet and does his visualization and manifestation of him winning that tournament. And it's good enough for the likes of me and you. People, just get out there in nature and leave your devices. It's just hard, because people think, oh, what if this happens? What if that happens? Just turn your phone off and take your headphones out and just do it a little bit each day. And I guarantee you will see and feel the benefits. We can all do it. Oh, I live right in the centre of Southampton with all the tower blocks and everything. There are trees there. You can notice the different colours on the trees. You're standing at a bus stop. There will be some form of plant life near you. And it's just taking that. And we was talking about, so being able to be mindful is So basic. It's very simple. We did it years ago without even realising. You're on a bus or you're at home and it's chucking it down of rain like it has been today here in Hampshire. But you can just be sitting there watching that raindrop run down that window without your headphones in and without looking at your phone. That is your few seconds of mindfulness. Daydreaming, I think, is mindfulness. Don't be afraid to give it a go. You can do it anywhere and everywhere. And nobody needs to know that you're doing it.
Yeah.
Amazing,
That's the best
lovely,
advice I can give.
beautiful. Ah,
Yeah. Thank you, Nicola.
thank you.
Where can people find you?
I am on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn, all under the Forest Bathing Company. And that is my website, theforestbathingcompany.com.
Perfect. Nice and easy. We will put all your details in the show notes as well. But we're going to be doing some forest bathing, aren't we? For sure. For sure.
Definitely.
You've definitely sold me. Now, we wanted to do it before, but I just see it. Yeah, you never know what it is, do you? I knew I wanted to do it, but I didn't exactly know
exactly.
what it was. So thank you for that. Yeah, it's been really informative, and I hope other people decide that they're going to try it now as well.
Yeah.
But anyway, that is it, guys. Until next week, we will see you again. Take care.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.